It is so exciting to be with all of you at this Meeting in the Middle Summit with so many great partners. So thank you all for being here. You are teachers, you're corporate officials, you're mentors, you're nonprofit officials, you are government folks, you're advocates, you're supporters in one way or another. You're here because you believe fundamentally when we talk about education for all means all children. And when I think about the collection of smart people in this room, I'm reminded of a quote from President Kennedy, who in 1962, a few blocks away, when he had all the Nobel Prize winners for dinner, when he said, quote, "I think it's the most extraordinary collection of talent, of human knowledge that has ever gathered together in the White House, with the possible exception when Thomas Jefferson dined alone." Well, in our expanded learning field, you are the most extraordinary collection of talent, of human knowledge that's ever gathered together. In your program, you'll see the names of the sponsors and the co-conveners. This is very much of a partnership organization that, while Citizen Schools and Higher Achievement have taken the lead with Ford Foundation and Fidelity, all of the organizations that are listed here as the co-conveners are equal partners, and we're really thrilled that everyone is working together. When I think about all the speakers, everyone deserves a round of applause. So I want to thank everyone, but particularly, it's a little risky of highlighting a few folks, but there's a broad committee, and I want to thank all of them, but particularly Callie, Roxanne, and Kelly. Can you join me to thank them for their great work? Collectively, the people in this room are making a transformative impact directly through their nonprofits and 100,000 people, and as you're going to hear from Wendy in a few minutes in terms of AmeriCorps, so many more. Why are we here? Let me tell you about one story. A letter I got the other day from our campus director in one of our programs, where she said, "Our kids are tough. They're smart and kind-hearted, but they're really tough. We had 4 shootings within 2-block radius of this school this year alone. Last week, I had a negative interaction with one of our 6th grade girls. She was unnecessarily rude, and I thought her behavior was completely irrational. I called Dad for the millionth time to tell him what she had done, and he expressed disappointment, and he would speak to her. I asked him if there was any context that he could provide of why she was so quick to snap. Then Dad informed me they were currently homeless. He was living in a shelter about half an hour away from the school, and she was couch surfing with friends in Dorchester, a part of Boston, so she could get to school every day. Suddenly I realized this young lady's behavior was not irrational. It was very logical. I had lunch with her and asked her about her family life. She told me that her mom had been to rehab several years ago and had never come back. She has 3 other children. The eldest turned 20 in jail, and another is in foster care. That student's life is being changed by the work of one of the programs here, and there's 100,000 other stories like that each of you are changing their lives. We all know there's no silver bullet in education, but expanding the time, after school, preschool, summer, quality enhancement, academic support, real-life mentorship, those are transformative impacts. And this is, I wish I could say we planned this well, but part of it is luck. We're at a perfect time to be in Washington. Last week, the United States Senate Education Committee, the HELP Committee, had the markup of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, and they included for the first time the language of expanded learning several times in there. So it's part of the momentum. Your being here is part of the momentum. You're going to see a lot of information in your packets about advocating. As much as we appreciate what the Senate committee did, we all know there's a long way to go from what the Senate committee did to the floor of the Senate, to the House, to the President. So in your fact sheets, there's information there. We hope that you will advocate for keeping the 21st Century Fund and so much else in there. As equally important to that is the growth of national service. And again, I'm not going to talk a lot about national service because we have the best speaker to talk about that in a few minutes, Wendy Spencer, which, by the way, can you join me to wish her happy birthday, Wendy? Happy birthday, Wendy. So we are thrilled with that. We also hope that you will share this information throughout the day. Hashtag Expand Learning 2015. We have an advocacy booth. You can take pictures and send them out through your own organizations, hashtag, through Citizen Schools, Higher Achievement, any of the others. What we need is consistent funding. There are many teachers in this room. Imagine if you started the school year and the principal said, I'm not sure how the year's going to go. We'll have to see how the bake sale goes. That doesn't work. Unfortunately, that's how expanded learning works in some parts of the country. We're all here because we want to envision a day that every child, the young girl I talked about, and every other has that opportunity. So today is about you, networking, sharing, best practices, learning, and advocating. So we're thrilled to be a part of this. We're thrilled that Citizen Schools can partner with so many other groups. It is now truly a pleasure to introduce, as part of our welcome, if you looked under Wikipedia and you looked up the word impressive career, you'd see his picture. He has been the president of Harvard. He has been the secretary of the Treasury, one of the youngest tenured professors at Harvard, and currently the chairman of the board of Citizen Schools. Join me to welcome my boss, Dr. Larry Summers.